Oh, okay. Um, Nowadays, during this digital era, almost everybody has a mobile phone, and almost every phone that we have, there's a camera. Technically, nowadays, everybody can take pictures. Okay, and people start to think that taking pictures is easy, which is, I don't blame them. In fact, that's what I thought last time, but that was long time ago. Um, you know, since now everybody can take pictures, you see that the position of photographers is slowly become that everybody can be a photographer. That happens even for me now. When client come to me and ask me, "Hey, I want you to take some photos for me. How much you charge?" When I said, "Okay, for me to take photos for you, blah blah blah, this is what I charge." Then the client would say, why so expensive? You only take pictures, man. After all, you just click the shutter. There's nothing much to do. Why so expensive? Why you charge me like that? So, since everybody thinks that taking pictures is easy, let me tell you one thing. We photographers, we don't take pictures. We make them. Okay? We make pictures. For example, this photo, this one of, every time when I show this photo to my students, during workshops and everything, people was like, "Wow, you managed to get the bullseye, the ball in the center." You can't simply, go to a tennis match and shoot and get this kind of photo. You can't do that. It involves positioning, understanding the game, what lens do you want to use, and you have to understand the signal from the players. Tennis players actually, they give us photographers signals, So you need to understand that. Then once you understand that, then you can manage to get this kind of photograph. Where did I go wrong? Okay. Same goes to the golf pictures. Everybody can go to a golf course, stand wherever they want, take pictures of players, teeing off. But for me, when I go to my assignments, I always have pictures in my mind first. When I go, then start to hunt for pictures that I want. I don't simply just take whatever I see, and then when I go back I choose. No, that's not my style. You know. So for me, when I saw the logo at the back there, I said to myself that I want one player to sort of like imitate the logo. I carefully position myself so that I can get the shots that I want, and trying to preserve the most information that the background has. For example, if you see the writings on the background, it says that it happened in Malaysia in 2005. Now that is the sort of information that we photographers try to tell to the viewers. These are the photos of the riot police during a protest. During a protest, emotions are high, clashes between protesters and the police, tear gas being fired. Nowadays, tear gas not like the old days. It bring tears to your eyes. No, nowadays, when tear gas hits you, it chokes you, and all of a sudden your body go numb and you can't do anything. You just simply sit quietly waiting for the police to pick you up one by one. As a photographer, you can't simply go and take this kind of pictures. You have to have target, you have to have plans on what you want. So this is what we photographers do. We don't take photos. We go out, we make them. Let me share you my experience on me becoming a photographer. I started falling in love with photography at the age of 9. That was the first time, thinking that things are that easy at that time. You finish the whole roll of film, you send it to the shop, then a few days later you get pictures in an album. As simple as that. When I was 13, I got an offer to go into a boarding school. Then one of my uncles, he gave me a camera, knowing that I'm so crazy about photography. But the problem is, for me, I come from a working class family. We are not rich. So my parents can only give me 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit a week for me to survive at the boarding school. But luckily, boarding school, they provide you meals and everything, but we still need money to buy, things. Yeah. So what I did was when my mom gave me 5 ringgit, I invested that 5 ringgit. I bought a roll of film. At that time, cost around 350, and start to shoot my classmates in groups. No single photo, okay? All groups. So when they are interested to buy, then I make money. From there, at the age of 13, I knew that this is the profession that I want. Okay. After finish SPM, I wanted to go into art school. Then actually for me, I prepared for that, step by step. At the age of 13, when I decided that I want to be a photographer, during Form 4, I take the art stream, not the science stream. Art stream, everybody knows, we are the cool people. We play hard, we study less. Sometimes we don't study. Art stream. The best thing about art stream, you don't have maths. You don't have biology, you don't have chemistry, you don't have physics. Life is good. But okay, I got myself into art school. I studied photography. Okay, first semester, the first class, you got your subjects. Okay, basic photography. Okay. And the other subject is history of photography. Not bad. I'm studying photography, obviously, I have to know the history. Then science. That's right, okay. Then maths. Okay. Then chemistry, physics. I was like, hey, what's happening, man? Is this a med school or an art school? I actually have to study that. Physics, You actually, you have to calculate, how fast and how strong lights travel. And then you have to study chemistry to know the chemical reaction when the light hits the film and everything. That whole process just for you to understand how the equipment works. So okay, now I understand how the equipment works. Then how to make photograph. And you have to study the composition, you have to study the rule of third and everything. Then you can start making a decent photo. Why is this like this? Okay. I think I better ask you to assist me. Okay, now you start to making good photos. Okay. These are the shots. Once you know the technicalities, then you can get the shots. Right? Okay. Okay. Now you can make a pretty decent photograph. Then after that, what? You have to make your photograph speaks. Okay? As you know, I'm in front of you, I'm not much of a speaker. We photographers, we don't talk much. We let our photos do the talking. Sounds cool, right? That's us photographers, and we don't talk much, So that's where the hard part is, To make your photo speak for itself, it involves lots and lots of reading, which that is the thing that I hate most. I'm a photographer. I go out and I make photograph. I don't really like to read. If I like to read, might as well I become a lawyer. I'm not a photographer. But you have to read. You have to read politics, you have to read sport, you have to read anthropology, sociology, just to make one good photograph. A photo that can speak for itself. Can I have a next slide? Okay. this was taken for my diploma project way back in 1994. Okay. Right. This was taken in the middle of the jungle in Kuala Lumpur's Pahang, the Batik tribe. At that time, their community was still nomad. You have to go and scout for them. So it took me 10 days at first just to know their whereabouts. Then I stayed with them alone for 30 days. Okay, next. Okay, so I, shoot just of them doing their daily life. Next. Okay, this was taken during TEDxUMSKAL. Okay, these are the two things that we always look when we shoot religious festivals. Next. Okay, this is one of the devotees in a state of trance. Next. Okay. This was taken in KK for the story on urban poor. Okay, next. Okay, this room is occupied by one family, and in KK, the Kampung Air, each room costs around 400 to 600 per room. And development slowly drive them away. Because when they can't cope with the cost of living, they would slowly go out from the city. So these are the kind of things. Next. Okay, this was taken at the Rohingya settlement in Cheras. The other one. Okay, actually, these are the kind of photograph that we photographers make. We know what to take in the first place. It's not like simply you go out and shoot. There are so many things that I want to share with you today. Unfortunately, we don't really have time. So I think at least with this short period of time, hopefully next time when you see a photographer on assignment, you will know that that photographer is not taking pictures. He is making pictures. Thank you.